be anything from looking for a job, should I break up with somebody, should I move, whatever. And there are some very simple tarot layouts that you and I were looking at. Um, we discussed that maybe this may not be the best thing to show some of the layouts until we have asked permission from the people that designed them. I didn't get a chance to look back at that today. So we'll have to just kind of go from what I sent you and look at the layout and how that goes. The other
All
thing I
righty.
thought, the other thing I thought about, Joe, there's so many people podcasting now, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much emphasis on um, what kind of microphone to use, what kind of headset to use. And
Mm-hmm.
I know for myself, I had illusions of grandeur for a long time and got one of those big fat microphones. I forget what they call them, Yetis.
Oh, yes. When you said that, I was just imagining those big old-fashioned things I used to see, they used to show on old movies, you know. But actually, there are these huge, yeah. Um, they're
Like
wonderful, I will
this.
say. I don't know. Oh, that is a beauty. Um,
Yep, the problem is it doesn't work with Skype.
oh, yeah.
Skype is mono.
Hmm.
So no matter
I
how
didn't
you
know
set
that.
it, yep. So no matter how you set your fabulous microphone, if you don't have a switchboard to help you with the settings, Skype is
Oh,
always going to turn it into mono. And I
mm,
didn't know that. And I
oh,
had invested in all kinds of fancy equipment, and so anybody
yeah.
out there that's doing podcasting, do know that if you're using Skype, you are on a set mono uh, setting, and that's just about it that you can use. But
Mm,
it is, unless somebody else has a different um, information on that. But I know
yeah.
Bill had told me before that, I was setting this up, and the other thing is that it's dusty. I have three of these. I have three of these
Yeah.
on my shelf. And I thought, well, why
Oh
isn't this
my.
why isn't this working? So then I got another one and I got another one. And then only to find out the reason it wasn't working was because I was using Skype. But the other thing is that the other thing is that um, it doesn't block out background noise.
Oh yeah, that's
So
really
you have
important
this
for me. And
very rich, you
yeah,
have this rich voice if you're using it the right way. But if the dog
yeah.
is barking or you're farting or whatever is going on in the
Yeah.
background, you're going to hear it. Whereas using headphones is it's
Also,
like,
the little wind guards are really important for
oh
me.
yeah,
They
yeah.
really
The
are. And the funny thing is, I only have one, and I have to get a. I used to get that sort of thing at Radio Shack a long
Mhm.
time ago, actually, but now I just don't know where to get these. But there's my microphones have gotten smaller over time. When I saw those
The
big, beautiful things
computers.
that you were showing, I thought, my goodness, I haven't seen one of those in a very long time. But
Oh,
that looks like
actually, a lot
studio,
of
like
people
high
use
quality
Yetis.
studio equipment
They,
to me.
Yeti is considered
And
one of
that's
the
not what I
best.
have in my studio. It's sort of like whatever I could afford at the time, which ain't
Yeti
much.
is not that
But
important. It's
yeah,
not that expensive.
no, they're not. But I think about I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about what I'm putting into it where it matters quite that much in terms of I'm thinking of
Well,
is my voice quality worthy is my own voice quality, is it going to make my voice quality better, or is it just simply going to make everyone realize how awful it actually is? I don't
Well,
know.
I think
So
you and I are
sometimes,
both people
uh,
that have, I think you and I are both people that have, our voices have been tools,
oh yeah, I don't know what we sound like otherwise.
because I started singing when I was 14 years old in coffee houses. And
Mm,
I've probably belonged to every kind of band there was as a lead singer and guitar
oh,
player.
cool.
And then I
Yeah.
graduated to playing alone back in coffee houses again until a kid came up to me and said, "You're Travis's mom, aren't you?" And I thought, "Oh, I'm just way too old for this scene." So I
Oh no,
I
I don't think
quit and
anyone's too
I
old
went
for,
radio.
oh. Well, it's showbiz. I don't think anyone, it just depends on where you want to be, I think. And sometimes we have to change the act, you know.
Right.
Uh, there's like, now, for instance, one of my favorite female vocalists is Annie Lennox. And she has changed over time,
Oh my,
but
yes.
she has, I
Many
mean,
ways.
but I will say, but so have I. We're the same age. I think she's just
Yeah.
a little bit younger than I am. And you
Huh.
know what? No, but she still kicks it. She still
Oh, she
does it. And
does. Is she
I
still
mean, my
doing
goodness.
stuff?
It's incredible. But it depends on where, I mean, in your life, maybe it was a time when you decided, I think I want to stay home with the kids for a while. Maybe I
Well,
just want
now,
to do
oh,
that. Or,
when I
yeah,
was
yeah,
single and working in a packing house to survive for
yeah.
22 years, um, I worked in a packing house to keep myself off of welfare. And so then on the weekends, I sang
Hmm.
and I read tarot cards at the coffee house on
Yeah.
Thursdays. But then I also, that when my son was getting a little older and able to, um, he was able to stay by himself then. I didn't do that when he was young.
Hmm.
And, but the main thing is that I have found that radio, and to me, for us to keep on you have to, when you're a psychic reader or
Hmm.
a spiritual worker, you have to keep above ahead of the wave.
Hmm.
And I know that back in 2008, I started with Adrian Austin. Back then it was Blog Talk Radio, which I can't stand now because the sound is so atrocious. I don't like
Oh yeah,
phone
yeah.
microphones, which everybody uses a phone, you know.
I don't like those. No, yeah. It
No, and
really does make make to listen to.
what's that?
It does
Delay.
make it difficult to listen to.
Well, it just
That
after
scratchy phone quality. And if people are not speaking clearly and you have all that also going against it as well, it's very difficult to actually hear what they're saying.
well, yeah, it is, and I just didn't like the fact on Blog Talk Radio that you were competing with 800 different shows all at one time, that were exactly like you. Where, it was just like, what trick can I do that would help me to stand out? Well, there really wasn't. People would hop from show to show to show, and
Hmm.
so I think Adrian and I both decided to go to different stations, and I went to Achieve in 2010. And then,
Okay.
and you have been reading with me for at least 5 years, haven't you?
I think off and on for longer than that. Time flies. We've known each other for a long time, actually.
Which one? Oh,
Uh,
see, I don't remember
yeah.
past 5
It's we
years.
I've known you for about maybe, oh gosh, for about
12.
maybe 20 years. or
How
so,
many?
or around that, or nearly, or very nearly. And the funny thing is that we have never been in the same state. we haven't we have yet to be in the same physical. We have never, we are strictly by wire and by
We're
broadcast.
cyber friends. We are
Yeah, but
cyber
truly, I mean, because we have
broads's, you
never
know.
ever been in the same, we have never been in the same presence, never.
I know it's
Isn't that
weird.
interesting? It's not, and here we are, we're on a show together, and we've never been in the same place, ever.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that something?
But that's what
And I think I've
internet
only
has
been to
done.
Iowa once in my life, and that was when I was about 15. And I went to Danville, Iowa, where my sister lived she lived there for a couple of years, and then she moved to Wisconsin. And that was back in
Okay.
the early 80s. Oh no, that was back in the like 75 or 76, 77.
Well, I
Yeah.
grew up in Niles, Illinois. You know, I
Oh,
mean,
you
I told you
did.
that.
I've never been to Niles,
Yeah.
Illinois.
That my father was a history teacher, and he also taught Hillary Clinton back in the days. I've told you that before. Now, my husband's family is Republican, and when I say that, they go, "Oh, that's too bad." But I've
Oh
always been
yeah.
proud of that
Well, yeah,
myself.
it's a mixed marriage.
And
Yeah. Oh
but
well, what you gonna do?
oh well, yeah. So I just thought that just a little bit of history. I don't know why I'm freezing so much. Uh,
I'm
you know,
freezing
it's
all the time, and actually, all day today, I just felt odd. Not bad, but odd. Yesterday, I had a migraine for some reason. And I think it was overstimuli. There's just too much going on, and unfortunately, there's just a lot of TV on lately, and a lot of anxiety all around. And I'm somewhat of an empath. I kind of pick up on, not only
yes.
do I have mine, then I have everybody else's if I'm feeling it. So we work to turn these things off, but sometimes it gets through and it's just too much. And so we go, oh, forget it. I'm shutting the door to take a bath. And you take advantage of the luxuries that you do have. It's not exactly a mature thing to do, but especially if it's a situation you can't do anything about except watch,
Well,
and
you know, for me, I'm married to a Republican.
mhm.
So we are just kind of very quiet around each other these days. We just know that, you know, it would turn into a blowout. So we
Well,
just kind of,
we we um
um,
we have a very congenial neighborhood out here. But we also don't talk about our politics. We're not talking about those things out here. And sometimes you see the signs up, and I prefer not to have a sign because
yeah,
I was raised not to ask people such
right,
questions, and not to speak, and not to have these types of conversations at work or with, especially in places where you can't do anything about. You have to be there. Like, say, if you invested in property and you have neighbors and you're in a neighborhood, you really don't want to be on outs with people. And what is it? It's politics and religion. And I think sex is one of the things too. The three taboos we're not supposed to talk about in general, unless we're specifically delving into that for some reason. You know what I mean? But I mean, if you
right.
want to get along, like if you want to get along at work, you don't talk about those things because,
Well,
you know,
unless you think it's that the only thing that's important is what your political belief is. I mean,
yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah.
I feel, you know,
Well, but that's how I
obviously
was raised. I'm not saying
I
it's not
feel the way I do,
important.
but if I was
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
um,
I feel very
if that,
strongly
if
about
I,
my own views. Yes, I do. And but the thing is that sometimes there are situations where where I just don't want to talk about it.
Right.
It's not my. If it was my job, if it was my show to do that, if I was someone like, oh, Rachel Maddow or somebody on TV where that is your show, that's your job, is that you talk about it. You talk about it. But the thing is, there are certain people that I know that when I see certain celebrities on TV, if I see an actor on TV, and sometimes they go on a bit, I'm thinking, I don't really think I want to hear them talk about it. I mean, even if I agree with them, I think, I don't know, do they really have to interject I don't know. I just sort of figured I would rather just know about the talent. I don't know. It could be just that I was raised to be more closed mouth about certain things because my parents did grow up in like they were adults, young adults during the 40s. It was a different time period. I mean, I wasn't born until 1960, but my parents, they were around since the turn of the since like 1917, 1914, and they just they were young adults in the 30s. They were having children in the 40s. It was a different time period, and they had the polio scare, so that did influence their social life. It influenced what the activities that they did with their family. It was unlikely that we would join a pool,
You
a
wouldn't join a
town pool.
pool?
No, because they were afraid of disease because of polio.
Oh.
That polio was a huge, see that stamp came along with, see, my parents were older
Hmm.
than a lot of parents of kids my age at the time. They were like the age of the grandparents of most of my
Well,
friends.
actually, they're probably the age that people are now having children. Because when I was in Oregon, I was amazed how many people that looked like grandparents had young children.
Yeah, my mother was like
Simply
that.
because they were waiting until they had their
Yeah.
careers and their lives together before they had children, you know.
Mhm.
So I
Oh.
was riding the bus with my grandkids, and they were going, "Oh, your children are so cute," and I thought, "Oh, that's a nice ego rush. Thank you so much," you know. But I
That they
do.
were your kids.
But
My
the thing is,
my
here's.
mother started young, but she just kept going. I mean, she
Mhm.
started having babies when she was in her late 20s, and then she just kept going, and she didn't stop until she was about 43. And that was me.
So how many brothers and
And
sisters do you have?
I I have 8 siblings.
Okay. Yeah,
So I know
that's a
so
nice that's a
I have
nice
three
bunch.
sisters and 4 brothers. So it's 5 boys and
Okay.
3 girls. And our ages are from 60 to 77.
You
Yeah,
know,
so
sometime we should do a show on um, where what the personalities are of kids as they are in the
oh yeah,
age
well, we're all
bracket.
different because we all grew up in different time periods. We're all different from each other. Hmm.
But there's also something to do with your birth birthing ladder thing, you know. The second one, the first one always gets so much attention. The second one, the third one, the fourth one, they all seem to have a certain level of attention. I think I better check our room and see if we have um, some people, and I think we do. We have, and please forgive us for blabbing. We just like to talk.
Actually, I'm trying to get to my link here for YouTube, and I'm
Okay.
yeah, and
Um,
I'm just like, oh, I can't find it. So
Well, I had it, but I did not notice. It doesn't seem to be. Oh, okay.
yeah,
No, no, no. Oh, there. No. Okay, there we go. I have to block the
okay.
sound out. Okay, now I've got
I
it, but
found
I
it. I
don't
found
have
it.
the
I'm okay.
chat room.
So I turned
So,
down the volume on it because it could be really kind of odd. All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Well, I've got the volume off. I'm
Yeah,
just in the
me too.
chat room. Oh, what's this? I've got somebody else's show.
Now, I'm not
Um,
seeing anybody here. Oh, dear.
no, no, that's okay. So
Um,
anyway, no, I've got a different show on. Somebody else just popped on
okay,
when I
so
did that.
who do we have? And do we want to try the layout that you found? That would be,
Do
we
you
could
have
do
it?
that.
Do you have it at hand?
Well, I do have it, and I could post it if you want, but if it's going to cause an
I will.
issue,
I I don't think it
um,
will, and I will contact everybody that is at Pinterest that we've
okay.
used and tell them that we did
I'm
so.
wondering if it's the
And
right one, is what it is, and
yeah,
but we'll see when I put it up there. Okay.
okay.
So I'm going to try that. Now, I see there's a button that I have here on Skype that says share screen. So I'm going to try that, and hopefully it won't be like a Three Stooges act here. Um, it's not a. I'm not seeing the window I want.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
okay. Okay, I don't want to spend
maybe
any time on it that way, but I can look at it. We can look at it.
let's go to the room and pick somebody. We have Russell. Russell
Okay,
says,
Russ.
"Hi, Anne-Marie and Joseph. Can you give me a general 3 to 6 month reading, maybe about money or whatever comes up?"
Okay.
So Joe will go first.
About money.
Money or
Okay.
whatever comes
Well,
up.
yeah, that is the thing, isn't it?
Mm.
We all need it, definitely. Okay. Well, let's see. For the recent past and the past, what I got here, I drew the Knight of Pentacles, and he's upside down. How appropriate that this is a money reading to draw this. But I do see that. Oh. It's somebody who it's just somebody who is not very somebody who wasn't very happy because of a lot, because of money. It's just it's a if this is you, I'm seeing a great unhappiness to you because of a lack of money, or someone you know that just it really just isn't happy, because of a need for monetary things. I'm seeing that it's like a workaholic thing in your past. That's what it is. It's like a really unhealthy thing, though. It's not good. Um, maybe there was a reason for it, though. So I don't know about that. There might have been. You're probably forced to do that for some reason. But at the present time, I'm seeing what we got here is Seven of Pentacles. That's what I drew. And that does show that I'm seeing a major turning point there for you. It's going to improve. Whatever hard work and stuff that you've been putting in, and this workaholic thing that wore you out and took over your life, just about, it's paying off. So basically, take inventory because money's coming in. I don't know how much, but it is coming in. It's from stuff that you've invested in. It's the result of your own hard work. And so I'm seeing that turning around for you. Something's paying off. Okay. And that's going to carry you through for a time. Yeah, it's going to be helpful. But I do see it paying off. As for when, well, I see that there's some kind of a personal rebirth, and something that you've been doing is coming to an end. There's going to be an end to the current way that you're living. If there's been a struggle, if there's been a difficulty, I do see that this is going to be a change. You're going to make some improvements. And I see that coming within about, let's see, within the next 9 months, not within the next 6 months. I see over the next 9 months, there's going to be some major improvements that's going to involve a change. You may find yourself working for a completely different place at a company if you haven't been before. Um, if you're home employed, home business, your own business, you're going to see a turnaround. And I do see this has to do with a lot of work that you've already done. So whatever's working, whatever you're doing seems to be working for you. Okay, Anne Marie, what do you got?
Okay. So, the first thing that I got for the month of uh, January, this is the, and I'm going to use a different deck because Joseph used the Rider Waite, and
Yeah, I
this is
did.
called Trust Your Gut. Uh, I was taught to, not taught, but suggested to use this from Adrian Austin, and it has been fun. So,
Cool.
the first thing it says, Russ, and this is the card that says, accept the gifts of the universe. Now, it was upside down, which says that you may be this month feeling like you have it in your mind what it is you want, and things are not lining up. There's answers, there's things available, but not exactly what you want. So there may be a sense that even though the universe is accepting you gifts, the feeling is you're not accepting them. February is seen as the month where you feel a little bit like if you're working, it seems to be something that you're doing in a way that is giving you money, but it's not necessarily giving you the feedback you want. And we all know that when we work, it's nice to have somebody that appreciates us or that we have a money flow coming in that isn't feedback for us. And so, what this month shows is this card was upside down, indicating that in February you're making money, but you're not getting that kind of um, feedback that you would like, appreciation. March, it says share a breath. Now, I'm not sure what share a breath means. But I suppose what that means is if there's anybody that can that you can connect with, or anybody that you feel um, you haven't had time with, that you need to, and that you've shut some people out. I would say that March is the time where you need to take a break and really bond with some people that maybe COVID or maybe just um, working at home if that's what you've been doing. Oh, I love these frozen positions I'm going into. And the feeling that uh, um, that
It's
if
so
you,
flattering.
it's so flattering.
So I'm afraid to blink sometimes.
I know. Well, if you're a person with a lot of expression, your tendency to look very strange is possible. Anyway, um, so the next 3 months, I'm going to say, are not going to be outstanding financially for you, but I also believe that there is nothing that's going to be harmful for you except yourself, either because the universe is offering you opportunities to try something new, and maybe you're toying with the idea of maybe doing something different employment wise or environment, but for whatever reason, you're just not going to do it in December. And February is seen as that month where you really need to take a break and do something for yourself. And I mean, excuse me, that would be a March. Now, April came up, meditate. April seems to say this is a time to really take a break on your expectations. Maybe it's time for you to reassess where you are, Russell, and what you have been using as your realities. because I feel that what's coming up is, it says, the month of play. And May is the month of play. So take a vacation, go dancing, do something awesome in May that is what you really love to do. I think you deserve it, and that's what I see. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm going to go into.
Bethany Campbell wants to know what her angels are telling her today, have to
Oh,
say to her
okay.
today. And I drew justice, but it's upside down. Now, Bethany, that means that the angels want you to be fair today. They want you to be just and fair. And they advise that you don't be harsh, don't be overly harsh with somebody. If you're giving justice, or if you have to reprimand somebody, or don't be overly critical or harsh. Be kind, and don't be a sore winner, is what they're saying. And watch the authority, watch your temper. Okay, be fair. That's all they're saying for today.
And who is this again? Because
That's
my
Bethany.
room,
Bethany
Bethany.
in the chat room in YouTube.
Bethany, thank you for joining our YouTube. If you would give us a like, we always love it. If those who are getting a reading give our video a like, it shows gratitude for your reading. And, it's like giving money. When you do something nice for people, something nice happens for you. Beth, here's what comes up. Your angels say you've got one hellaciously magnetic personality. I shouldn't say hellaciously because angels wouldn't say that, I suppose, unless they were drunken sailor angels. But it says just understand that your angels are telling you that you are going to attract and magnetize to you everything that you want for 2021.
Wow.
It also says that you're very courageous, and that it seems like when others fear rejection and it puts them into the depths of depression, not you. You just go bravely forward, and that's pretty awesome. And the third thing I see for 2021 is this is the year of good fortune, which means that the universe will provide you and your family and your loved ones and your pets with good fortune in 2021, which can be manifesting to you the outcomes that you want for your creative opportunities, for your for your financial, and that's what I see, Bethany.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very,
Okay.
very
So
good.
we have Joseph. And Joseph is from Tennessee. And he says,
Oh,
Hi, Anne Marie and Joseph. Can you please
hi, Joseph.
do a 3-month financial reading for me? Boy, we have a lot of that today.
Oh, well, of course, everybody's like, oh my gosh.
I know, yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm,
financial reading. Yeah. Okay.
mhm.
Gee, well, I am seeing that. Oh, goodness, goodness. Look at the sun. That makes me. I drew the sun for the present time, and
Oh,
it
good.
fell upside down. I mean, no, it fell right side up. I'm sorry. I'm so glad it did. Um, it shows that your personal magnetism is really what's is the draw. I mean, you just have something about you. There's a success. You're a star. I mean, you're one of those people that could work, and it's because you have a high energy. You're a high energy type, and that's very appealing. And that is something that when people are hiring or they want to do business with you, that's going to have a lot of subliminal influence. That's in your favor, so that's very nice. It does warn though of stay away from. You're going to have a period that's things for the present time are going to be on even keel, and that's going to happen for a while. That will be okay. But I do see that you're being warned of um, getting into some ventures, business deals that aren't really all that great. They're not tried and true, and they're just kind of fly by night. And it's usually a lot of times. Sometimes people have an idea, something wonky that they're going to sell, and it just doesn't really. It's like don't do that, or don't stay away from loans or something that are high interest that aren't like through your bank or something like that. But other than that, I'm seeing that's a time where you're going to be studying more. It seems like
Hmm.
you might be learning something new at the present time. This tells me that you probably started school, maybe, or it's telling you that it's suggesting to you that maybe it's a good idea, the good time for it, because everything else is kind of stable. You might be able to pull that off. So that is what I'm seeing, that as the present time and something that is coming down the road, or really, really near, near enough to be the present. Um, Other than that, it seems like you don't have enough experience, really. So I'd say it's a good thing. Education would be a good thing, because I am seeing that there's something young about you that it's sort of like you need the education, or it's like you're being thrown to the wolves. So I'd say if you can put off being thrown to the wolves at this time, um,
It's always
eh,
nice.
gain in knowledge, try to gain some knowledge. Okay, that's what the cards are really saying here, especially when I see the Emperor upside down in the near future. I'm sort of seeing that. Oh, I don't know. To just watch out for self-centered people, and stuff like that. I just study. You need more knowledge. That's what these cards are saying. So it seems to be a good time for you to do some learning. So it wouldn't be a bad thing. Anne Marie, what do you see financially? I'm not seeing anything great happening financially for you. I'm seeing that it looks like you have the opportunity to learn something instead of running out to get a job. So I would say if you can learn something and still gain, that's great. But I'm not seeing that you're really going to be hurting for money either. So Anne Marie, what are you seeing on that?
Well, Joseph, I am shown that you have kind of been frustrated the last, I would say, October, November, and December have left you feeling a little raw. There's a sense that you feel that you could be doing so much better if the opportunity was there for you. And what comes through is that you have to make up your mind whether you're going to go for it and utilize that determined nature of yours that came here for a reading on what's going to happen, and to actually put it into action, into your real life. I'm shown that you're very determined, and that because you're a determined person, there's nothing that you can't accomplish. Have you been having a legal issue or something? Because I'm shown that there is a sense that this is time for you to either face the music on a legal issue in your life, whether that has to do with an ex or whether that has to do with just making the investment, as Joseph said, on a online class that could further
Yeah.
certify you or help you to be current and to accelerate your potential of um, positive review by people that you are in contact with. It seems that your determined nature could be very successful at school or at an online course. But I would say that all in all, when I look at what 2021 is going to offer you, sweetheart, look what came up, the star.
Ah, nice.
So my feeling is, Joseph, is that this is going to be an awesome year for you, but do be determined and do find that you be ambitious. And if you need to have an online class to certify or to make your skills that much more current and tantalizing to employers or to contacts or to clients, do so. Joseph was correct on that.
Yeah, it's almost like you've been in isolation,
Hmm.
and they're going to throw you out the door and go, okay, start living. You go, wait a minute. I don't think you're ready yet. It's almost kind of like it's sort of like that. It's like, gee, there's something about this where it's like that cake in the oven ain't ready yet. I don't know what's going on with that. It's just sort of freaky. But whatever it is, I'm just saying that, if you feel like you can't get out, I'd say then use that time to prepare, because then when that door does open up, you're going to have to know some stuff. So use
Yeah.
the time to learn as much as you can about
And
where you
as
want to
and
be.
as
Yeah.
and as your reading said, it's nothing short of the star if you do.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if I look at the next one we have is Rebecca from Oklahoma. Hey guys, I just started a job on medical supplies. Their business tactics makes me leery. Can you see what the cards say? Thank you so much. So what is Rebecca's yeah, our hunch is right about
Draw a
she
card on
needs to
that.
be careful.
Uh, yeah, go on. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I going? Okay,
Oh, you're
okay.
going. I just went.
Oh, you are? Okay, okay. Well, let me do this because a card flipped out of this, and it's this is kind of a strange thing. I know that she's leery of the business, but I'm going to draw another card. But I'm gonna get back to the card that come that.
Uh-oh, you drew a nasty one, huh?
Well, no, no, no. What it is that it's one of those that kind of flies out, and it wasn't really part of the draw, but a lot of times when they come flying out, I want to know what they are. Okay, what I am seeing is that I'm not seeing a dishonesty with the company, but you are advised just to be on the watch. I would say it's more the people you would need to worry about. But I would say you're somebody who is, I'm seeing you here as like the Queen of Pentacles. And it is something that you are somebody who is dependable, and you are the type of person who likes to help people in need, or you just find yourself doing that, or you do it without even realizing that you do it. But yeah, if you notice something that's off, you are likely probably. So I'm saying if you suspect things, I'd say it wouldn't hurt to keep an eye out. The card that came flying out of the deck is the Ten of Cups, and it landed right side up. And it just shows me here that it shows that you have like a lot of great friends, and that you have, I see this great period of being like pretty happy, with a happy life. Like you like where you're living, you like what you're doing, and every day that you get up, it's great. And I do see this, and it's like a special love relationship. I see this like this kind of jumped out. So I hope that that's there for you, because it's the 10. Okay, 10. Maybe it's something that's going to grow in your way within a year, within about 10 weeks to 10 months. I do see that that's something that's pretty cool. Um, it just simply shows that you have what you need. It's a reminder that you have pretty much, and you will have pretty much the material possessions you need. You know, so the card seems to be, don't forget also you have all this wonderful love around you as well. So that's coming. That's interesting, isn't it? So, okay, Anne Marie, who's next?
I had to no, I wanted to give her a reading.
Oh, okay, go on. I thought you had done it. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
I had gotten
no.
distracted because I lost.
Oh, the communication there. Um,
Just kind
I thought it was funny that you said Queen of Swords because I got you're the boss,
Yeah. Yeah.
which indicates that you have tendencies to intimidate some people because you have natural leadership. But it says while you are getting into the groove of this job, be generous with people around you and understand that this is not the time to prove that you can outwork and outlearn everybody around you faster and better. This is time for you to, I would just say, maybe go out of your way a little bit. Because the funny thing happens when you are very, very good at what you do. And many people are very good at being charming at a job the first 3 months. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
and they are very good at being able to show their best side. But the problem is that if you're empathic at all, or if you are somebody that finds that after 3 months you're convinced everybody hates you, or you're convinced that for whatever reason you need to be cautious and careful, it may be that you need to ask yourself, are you following a pattern? Is this what you do at jobs? Because you are naturally with leadership qualities. Therefore, bosses and leaders do not like to settle for less. They like to be respected. They like to have, um, they'll be generous, but they want to have that back. And the problem is, most bosses feel the same way about you. They aren't going to give you a whole lot to go on the first 3 months, because most bosses know after 3 months is when the real qualities of a employee start to show. So I would say you have potential for leadership. Make a note. It says make a note of the kind of behavior that you do that attracts people around you. And just understand that you may have a problem with showing your best face for 3 months, and after that, it's like, I'm not going to play any more games, people. And I get it. I understand. You can only kiss
Isn't
ass
that
so long.
the usual period too that they have is 3 months? You have to pass a certain period. Isn't that what's it called?
The
But
honeymoon stage.
it's before they sign you up for insurance and stuff. A lot of times you have to pass a certain
Mm,
period of time, a 3 month something period. I forgot what it's called, and
right.
I seem to remember that where they could just dismiss you at any given time if they don't like what you're doing. It's like, okay, that's it. There's a certain period that it's a lot, but they will always tell you that before you start. A lot of times, even in the hiring process, it's known that there's a usually a 3 month period. I forgot what it's called, but it's
That's all right. But it's the
yeah,
main thing.
honeymoon. You
I
get like
call
a
it the
3 month
honeymoon
honeymoon
stage.
period,
Oh, the
and then
the
they
probation,
actually consider you
probation,
part of the
probation,
yeah.
maybe. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah, probationary
probation.
period or of some sorts. Yeah, before they start signing you up for all their
Right.
other
And
stuff.
so
But
and so if you're looking for a raise or you're looking for a promotion and you have leadership skills, most employees will kind of put you on a probation of 3 months to check and see
yes,
whether you are going to stay or whether you're going to say screw you and take off. And I think where a lot of jobs anymore really are want to have leaders. They want to have people that they can have in positions of uh, management or to help
yeah.
others around them, because
It's
most
hard to
people
say
are
what they
not like
want, although
that.
that the trend keeps changing. And
Yeah.
I know I would have thought someone would have wanted someone who was there for a long time, who knows the job really well, so they don't always have to keep training somebody all the time, you know.
Right.
But then I've seen the trouble is you see some places which has high turnouts, high turnovers. Nobody has a chance to learn anything. They're gone before they learn anything. So I don't understand. So I don't make those kinds of predictions. I just can tell you whether or not it looks good.
It looks good, and
Yeah.
it looks like she'll do fine as long
Oh
as
yeah.
she. Okay, Sarah from New York wants an organic reading.
Oh,
The more honest, the better, she says.
an organic reading. Wow.
That means she
Organic.
wants her ass kicked, I think.
And what's her name again? What was her name? What's her
Sarah.
name?
Sarah, one
Stella?
of my
Oh,
favorite
Sarah.
names. Sarah.
Okay. Oh, Sarah.
She
An
wants she
organic
wants
reading. I
she
love it.
wants the
That's
truth.
okay, organic reading. What's going on at the present? Oh, let's look at this. Let's take a little peek at the past. I drew the Nine of Wands for the influence, that past, that kind of influences you here. It's very recent. Seems like you've had to be on the defensive recent.
Joseph, I hate
Uh,
to interrupt. It's
yeah.
5:55. These are going to have to be
Oh,
lightning rod readings.
okay. So anyway, you had to be on the defensive in the past. I do see that, but we're not going to go much further back than that. At the present time, I do see here we have the Four of Wands. It's upside down, and I do see that you're going to be doing well financially. Just some rewards for your creativity. I'm seeing that, so that looks good. That's very soon. At the
Okay.
present time, that might even be it. So that's a very good thing. I'm seeing that through careful planning, as shown by the Three of Wands. I do see that you're going to achieve your goal, okay? Financial goal. I do see that. It has to do with something creative too. So cool. Anne Marie.
So Sarah, when you asked me for an honest reading, the first thing I got is boundaries, which indicates to me that you're a person that a lot of people feel that they can only get so far with because you have a certain ability to allow yourself to get close to people, but not that close. You have found that the last month or so, you have felt a little like you've been on a shelf and you have been bored stiff. But it says, don't worry. This means you're going to get through the problems. This says, what problems? Sarah doesn't have any problems. Count on spirit to get you through. Count on your angels. This is drama. But it's upside down, which means that less drama's coming up for you, Sarah. But remember, don't be afraid to let people get close to you, honey. If
Yeah.
you feel sometimes like you always have to protect yourself, then then it you would be amazed how people can see that in your eyes. It's kind of like when your pupils get real small when you talk to people and you start going, well, that's weird. Why are they backing off? Well, probably when you're giving them the look of a snake, they're going, uh-oh, she's going to bite me. So all I'm going to say is
Yeah.
concentrate on your pupils staying large and instead of looking them and analyzing them in their eyes, look at their forehead, look at the middle of their forehead, pretend there's a third eye there, and let yourself be comfortable and just don't put those boundaries up, sweetie.
I'm
That's
seeing
what
all
I
work and
see.
no play. I'm seeing all
Yeah.
work and no play. It's like, yeah, you gotta do well. You're always working though. And the cards are saying it's okay to spend some of that for your comfort, and it's okay to enjoy yourself and to have fun and to, like say Anne Marie said, enjoy the people that you're with. Smell the roses. Let your eye pupils
we
get
got to
big.
we have to go at 6 o'clock. All right, guys, bye, and thank you, Joseph, and I'll see you on Monday of the first of the new month.
Okay, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye bye.
Happy 2021. Bye bye.